Down in the Absulute Radio staff canteen, the Absulute Radio Zoo, OMD are ready to play. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yeah, good
Hi.
evening. Hi. It's an absolute joy to have you here. 30 years on. Where did time go? Can you still believe you're here doing it?
It's very... No. I think that neither of us thought we'd ever be playing as OMD together again. I mean, it stopped a long time ago and then started 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been a great experience.
And do you like each other?
No.
No, but, you know, how many bands like each other, you know?
Well, no, I can't think of
See,
one.
the only reason why we got back together again is because finally, after all these years, my team was better than his again. But unfortunately, since 2005, when we won the Champions League, we've gone rubbish again. So he's a Man United fan, I'm a Liverpool fan. So I thought it was safe to talk to him again, but it isn't.
Right, yes, yeah. You're going to monitor that over the coming season.
Yeah, I mean, he knew we were going to sell Ronaldo, so, you know.
Yeah, that's why we're working again this year.
And you're trendy again, because OMD's a band that's come in and out of fashion over the years, but I think with your gig at the Roundhouse a while ago, you're kind of fashionable again. Is that a nice feeling?
I mean, I think, you know, bands of our generation seem to be, you know, people still want to come and see us, so whilst there's a demand, you know, we're just getting out there and playing, and seems like lots of people want to come and see us, so we'll get up and play, you know.
I think the electro thing helps. So, you know, we've got people who are young enough to be our children name-checking us now as influencers.
Because when you started out, people forget, because you became this massive pop band, but when you started out, you were on Factory Records, which is the epitome of the fiercely independent, non-London record label, also famous for being shambolic and spilling money, you know, money just going down the drain in every direction. You've got fond memories of those days, back the old Factory Record days?
Yeah, very fond memories, actually. I mean, fond memories of touring with all the Factory bands, touring with Joy Division, you know, I mean, that was an amazing experience.
I wasn't keen on the fire breather they used to have between bands, though. we used to have a fire-breathing act between bands, and everybody used to try their hardest to not be the last band on stage because it stank of paraffin. And it was really the strange things that Factory Records did.
But it's a funny old label. It was run out of someone's front room for a long time on Palatine Road.
Tell us about it. We bagged every single copy of Electricity that was on Factory in 85 Palatine Road front room. We took them out the white ones and put them in the black ones.
So you were putting the records in those actual beautiful Peter Saville design sleeves?
All 5,000 we did.
Wow. You could get repetitive strain injury doing that, couldn't you? And of course, them being Manx and you being Scousers, you know, how was that as a relationship?
Well, he's a Man United supporter, so he fit right in.
My
you
family
know.
are Manx, really. So
yeah.
Now, the great thing about Factory was that you know, Tony Wilson was the first guy who actually said to us, "What you do is future pop music." Which we were deeply offended at, because we thought we were terribly experimental and artistic and influenced by German music, and we were like, we're not effing pop music. And he said, no, you should be on top of the pops, you know, I'll help you get there. And we were like, yeah, whatever, because he was right and we were wrong.
Yeah. And, of course, you went on to be these massive pop stars doing the Top of the Pops. It's the one moment that you look back on and think, was that really us? Did that really happen to us?
I think the whole of the 80s, looking back, really, because it was, you know, it was just one thing after another, and each song we released seemed to be more successful than the one after, and it was just... you know, I mean, I don't think we had a holiday in the whole of the 80s, did we? Maybe
no,
one.
But we were enjoying it. I mean, the thing is, we never intended to be pop stars. We never, you know, it wasn't our aspiration. You know, we the young Andy and Paul would not be queuing up to go on X Factor or anything like that. We were doing our music because it was our little experimental thing that we did in his mother's back room, and we kind of snuck in the back door of the music industry. So we used to regularly, you know, we were standing on stage in front of thousands of people or doing Top of the Pops, and you knew that, you know, the whole country would be watching, and we catch a look at each other like, how the hell did we get here? It's like, they'll find us out soon, you know, we'll take it away.
Yeah. And have you got younger members now of your family who you say, oh, back in the day, this was us, showing them videos of Top of the Pops and stuff, and they believe that was you?
Yeah, they didn't for a while, but then when we came sort of out of retirement and went out on the road, then they really, you know, had a good experience of what we did.
Yeah.
Because it was just sort of seeing videos and hearing stories, but when our kids came to our our shows a couple of years ago because they kind of missed out on all our touring. So
they liked it to begin with, but I think the novelty wore off quite quickly. I remember my daughter not being able to see my daughter when we were playing in Oxford and asking her mother afterwards where she was. She said, "No, she was sat down next to me playing her DS." I said, "Don't you want to see your dad?" She said, "I can see him at home." Fair enough.
And of course, it's the fate of every generation to be embarrassed by their father's dancing. I'm just curious to know, Andy.
There'll be none of that today.
Right, shall we have a song?
Most people are only embarrassed by their dads dancing at the occasional wedding. I dance on stage in front of thousands of people. How do you think my kids feel?
Shall we have a song?
Why not?
What do you fancy doing for us first?
Oh, we'll do Souvenir, eh?
Great, in session today. Let's hear it for OMD.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, we don't want to work you too hard. We'll allow you a sit down and a cup of tea. And we'll come back and have more from OMD shortly.